There is a previous video to this, and I'm putting it at the end because I babbled on about stamps. I started sentences. I didn't finish them at all. I started to talk about my Hobonichi. This is a book that I made out of a Ali Edwards story kit envelope, because the envelopes are done with all this on the outs. This is the envelope inside the envelope. These are cool, and I have quite a few of them now, probably 12 or so, almost a year. But then I made a little trifold thing, and I've got tip-ins everywhere, and I've got big pieces on it. I've got a little bit of paint, but I want to play in here some more today. This is another in-betweener. These are what I call in-between days, in-between projects. I'm going to start working on, hold your horses, Halloween. I know. It's not the project I'm going to work on in October. And it's not going to interfere with October's project, and it's not, well, it could influence October's project. But it's a lot of, I need to get this part of Halloween out of my system so I can focus on the other part that I want to concentrate on, which is creativity, not specifically maybe art. I had so much stuff here. Oh my gosh, what a mess. So I was painting outside this morning before it got incredibly overwhelming with humidity. And there's a big, huge barge. I'm going to put a picture of that at the end too. Across the cove. The lady across the cove, her husband started one of the very first sports order mail catalogs companies. And she sold the company to a commercial company. He died probably in like 97. And because it was right after we got married, or maybe even before we got married. But she sold the company after he died, several years after he died, and made millions. Whoever bought the company was a conglomerate out of New York, and they ran it into the ground as conglomerates can. But luckily she was out of the picture. It still had her name on it, maybe her last name. It's called Ellett Brothers. But it was ran into the ground. Anyhow, her dock, that has nothing to do with it's this big. If you ever seen pictures of my, like, coming in off the lake in our boat, the house that's across the cove from us is this big, beautiful, looks like Gone with the Wind, colonial looking house. It's not. It was built to look like that. But she lives there by herself now. She has one daughter who is extremely cool. You would never know these people had that much money. Never. She still has the car he bought for her before he died, because he bought her. That's when Lexus first came out, or first came to this country. She's still driving that same very Lexus. He got her, and he bought her a riding lawnmower because she loves to cut her grass, and she still does. And she's almost 90-ish. We can't remember how old she is, but she still gets on that lawnmower, and she's a cancer survivor, and really old, but she's always worked in that yard. Always. And she said, I never could find a yard crew that did it the way I wanted it done. She still swims. Why am I saying all this? Oh, her dock has been decaying for years. She doesn't have a boat anymore, and her daughter lives here with her own dock, so she doesn't have to like tie up to her dock or anything. And they're tearing it down. I'm sure they're going to put something back up, but there's a huge barge across our cove. And yesterday I heard him coming in. I wasn't paying attention, but I could hear it. Sounded like those big cigarette boats, which I have not heard any on the lake in a couple years until I said I haven't heard any. Then I heard a couple. I'm like, now there's a cigarette boat in our cove. How in the world are they going to turn around? Because our back of our cove where we are is really small. And I'm like, how are they going to turn around? And then I'm like, they're just going around in circles, because I could hear them just, well, it turned out to be, it was the barge parking itself. And this morning they came in with chainsaws because the barge has a tractor on it. It has scuba gear. It has all kinds of stuff. A big, huge trash dumpster. And it's a wild morning. We've been watching them while we eat coffee, cut part of her docking part, and then haul it off. Well, haul it into their trash dumpster, and they're out there working. But anyhow, and while they were, oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Okay. While they're out there working, I was painting, but it got too hot. It's not horribly hot, but the humidity is off the charts. I'm trying to clean this up a little bit. I might paint on it today. It kind of needs a little bit of toning down. No, not really. I think it's too early to tone it down. It's got wild stuff everywhere. But it's a good way to use up a bunch of scraps. Here, that can go there. That can go there. Yes. And this is again another intuitive project. I mean, I just kind of audition stuff, and it's like, no, don't look right there. No. And then the book says, oh, put me here. Can you hear it? Saying, oh, put me here. I'm gonna get put in the crazy bin, Looney Tune bin, because I'm talking to paper, but that's okay. Ooh, that's pretty. See, this is where you put your scraps when you can't throw anything away in something like this. And then they all become something. Ooh, we need some stamps in here, don't we? My friend's mom, oh, it's so sad. She's still hanging on, but it's barely. It's just, you know that lady, how tough she was all her life and how much stuff she went through. To leave China, to get here, to... Her husband had to leave China and took his sisters to a convent. His parents were gone, dead from war and everything else that was happening in China at that time. And he joined the American Air Force because his father was American and did a little bit of spying, we think. The whole shebang. It was for us, not for anybody else, for us. But in World War II, if you knew Chinese and you could speak English and you were an American soldier, I think that was a plus. And his sisters still, the ones that are living, still live in South America, where they went with the nuns. I mean, it's just a wild journey they went on. And this woman will be 99 next week. I don't think she's going to make it, but I sent a card anyhow, just in case, to my friend, her daughter, and said, you know, if it doesn't make it, if she doesn't make it, please throw the card away. But I wanted her to have it if she did make it. Was that selfish? I don't know. I'm having guilt pains about that. But I know how much she loved cards and looking at them over and over and over. So I did it. Even while I was mailing it yesterday, I'm like, I don't know if I should be doing this. But I did it. It's too late now. I can't get it back. This is a good way to tone stuff down without using paint. Is this like collaged for you already washi tape? And it's basically something like this, just photographed onto washi tape. Ooh, Van Cleef and Arpels. Ooh. Big jewelry people. Newspaper, extra. Anyhow, I wasn't going to cover up these flowers, but I think I am. They're a little too jarring. So yeah, I'm on an in-betweener page. And I painted. Oh, that was another thing. While the barges next across the way, making all this noise. And before it got horribly humid, I was out there painting, watching them. And I just took a magazine, a junk magazine that we got up in Asheville over 2 weekends ago, and just started blopping paint on it, pages. And so it's a foundation of something to come. I don't know what, but it just got too humid. Woo, it got too humid. And I was getting bit by mosquitoes. Like, you can't have my blood, you nasty little bugs. I don't trust the mosquito spray people, and the neighbors on either side of us use it. So all the mosquitoes come here. All it does is chase them away, but I don't see it being safe for animals. So I will not allow my husband. My husband was going to sign us up. I'm like, no, I don't want those things around my animals, even though they profess to be safe. I know. You don't have to tell me, but I don't know. Okay, let's see. I don't want to cover up that branding. That was some pins I got. There's a little bit of Allie Edwards branding. A little bit. There's another craft circle. There's Traveler's Notebook branding. No, you can't put craft on top of craft, lady. Even though there are no rules. But I think I might do some painting. And there's just a few little pieces of paint around here. Just a few. And I started saving a couple things that had flowers everywhere. Flowers started showing up one of the days I was working on this everywhere. So I kept a bunch of them. So I might, and mushrooms, I might kind of make this a little bit cohesive and with a little bit of color underneath, and then put flowers on top. Might. But I want to do it with very, very thin amount of paint. And I got to be careful. I think I'm going to start from the bottom up, how I do this, because there's so much to it. Okay, let's start here. And this paint is not, it's separating. Yes, you heard me right, or you will hear me right. I think this was in the video that I'm going to put at the end because it was just convoluted. But I think I might start a Halloween project. It's a Halloween project to get the stuff out of my system that I know I don't want to do, so that I have room for the stuff that I do want to do in my brain. I'm defragging my brain for a Halloween shenanigans, which I keep changing my mind on. But I'm not going to tell you any of the ideas because I might go back to the original one. And I do this. Last year I changed my mind about Halloween in the middle of Halloween. Or was it the year before? No, I stuck to the theme, I think. But I changed the foundation. I was trying to do a pocket page thing like Allie Edwards does. And I couldn't do it. But I think I conquered that problem with one of the journals I just made recently. Somewhere on here. Was it the Aquatic Engine? Might have been the Aquatic Architecture one. No, that was, I don't know. Okay, that can dry. Probably need to add a bunch of water to this because I really want it to seep through some of the color. I'm just trying to push it back. Oh dear. Let's try this one. But there's so many tip-ins here. I can't figure out which way to go. So this is an in-betweener project. I'm probably going to work on something else tomorrow. But that's what these days are. They're in-betweeners. They're in-between projects. And for some reason, if you're new here, I don't know why. I want this Salvador Dali to show through. But for some reason, I have to have projects that are kind of lengthy. I did one that was 80 days one time. And it turned out to be around the world in 80 days. But, oh, who is it? Oh, what is her name on YouTube? Journal de Sylvie, French, Spanish, something, another language, but it's Journal de Sylvie. She showed on Instagram. Her Marco Polo journal. It is stunning. And I've always wanted to do a Silk Road journal. But she beat me to it. I even have a couple books that I bought to try to do a Silk Road journal. Like just documenting the journey of the Silk Road. The geographical points of it. She is much more artistic and vintage paper and all that. I'm kind of, this is what I have, this is what you get with mine. Much more than her. All right, this needs to dry. And then I can do the same principle as what I've been doing in the last couple journals. It's kind of doodle in places. Mixed media is basically. I might put some other paper on top of some of this now. And then the top layer will be flowers. But I kind of want to... I wonder if I could... This might be a huge mistake. Huge. Add a little bit of blue. So far, not regretting it. A lot of this is glued down very poorly because it's all starting to pop up. Not a reflection on the glue. Huge reflection on me. But I'm okay with some of that. And some of it is not vellum. Yeah, maybe vellum. And that really has a hard time sticking unless you use double-sided tape or something very strong. Because that's vellum right there, and it's all coming up. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, maybe. But because this is cardboard, it's soaking everything in. And I remember this was done after I saw Concy atop Serenity Hill. She did something like this at a retreat. And it was just stunning. It had layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. And maybe I do need to add some more layers before I start with flowers. Surely I have some paper around here. Oh, I can hear the barge just started up. It sounds like a cigarette boat. If you know what a cigarette boat is, those boats that they had in Miami Vice. The big drug runner boats. We have had some of those up here. A lot more than we do now. But you can hear those things everywhere when they start up. Okay. I think I'm going to let this dry and come back tomorrow after it really, really, really dries and add some more layers to it. I kind of pushed back this layer. Kind of wish I didn't have put that Salvador Dali thing on there, but so now this needs to dry really well. Really, really well. And we're just gonna throw it on the floor and let it dry. And I have some paint in my brush. So my paintbrush is tangled up in my light thing. I'm just going to get rid of it. I hear that barge moving. Y'all probably can't hear it. The osprey were not happy. They were screeching this morning. I didn't catch them, but they were really complaining about the barge being so loud. It's like, ladies, do y'all know how loud you are? A beautiful loud. Ospreys sound like eagles, bald eagles. I wonder if the barge is leaving the cove, actually. They might be done with their stuff. Oh, see? Pretty. Okay. That's it for today. I've babbled and I've babbled and I've really babbled. So much so that the worst babbling is at the end. So if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Thanks for watching this part. Have a good day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Well, if you could see the state of this room, you would laugh, cry. It is crazy. That's kind of what happens though when you do a big, at least for me, a huge Hobonichi session. It kind of all gets tossed around and messed around. But Judy, especially Judy, these are some of my grandfather's stamps. And some of them, they don't have dates on them. And some of them are in these sleeves. Because he would get these things at the post office all the time. He died at the post office. He had a massive heart attack standing in line waiting to get some of these sleeves. And died instantly. Which, if you knew him, this is where he'd want to go. These are spare Germany stamps. Now, I think he may have bought like lots where you could get them already. That doesn't look like Germany. That looks like Russian. No, Dutch. It says Deutsch. Deutschreich. Whoa. Okay. These don't have dates on them. And these, you see, are very common. You see these everywhere on the internet. Me being a non-stamp person, this is what I think. But, I mean, I do see these are very common. And my sister, at some point, wrote on a lot of these and separated a lot of these. I don't think it was this trip. German Democratic Republic. GDR. Isn't that what Putin was in? Is in? Was in? Runs now? I don't know. These are... Anyhow. Oh, gosh. These are space, I think. Or a lot of space. Oh, there's a California... No. A beaver tail cactus. 20 cents. But there's no years on these things. 18 cents. Exploring the moon, benefiting mankind. These are beautiful. Commerce. But again, I think you could buy these. Contribute to the cause. Contributors to the cause. Salem Poor. Gallant Soldier, 10 cents. But there's like a bicentennial thing on that. So that could have been like 1976. I don't really think anything in this box is massively old. Here's U.S. 18 cents. Save Mountain Habitats. Oh, that's a gorgeous one. The grizzly bear. A lot of space things. in that stack. But there's tons of this stuff. But then there's these, where my sister, separated all this stuff out. And these look to be Russian, which is interesting. 1 cent. But it looks like Russian writing, or Greek. Oh, you know what? That could be Greek with that blue and white flag like that. These might be Greek. Sorry, Russia. REA Express, that's where my grandfather worked. Okay, my other grandfather, not the stamp collector. These all say France. Cartier. There's something on this. 1430. Almost looks like, I don't know. Anyhow, I'm pretty sure you could buy stuff like this in the old days in groups. And I see them on Etsy. You know, big, huge groups of this stuff. These are not. Oh, here's New York ones. Oh, wow. But anyhow. But see, they already have like a dot matrix thing run through them. Oh, transfer tax stamps. Oh, this is interesting. Stock transfer tax stamps. Because I know, like, through my husband's work, you have to get, like, tax stamps from alcohol licensing, too. Here, South Carolina. So these are not, like, mailing stamps. I think these are commerce or something they said. I think that's French too. Ooh, this one's beautiful. It's a lighthouse, it looks like. A lighthouse? Excuse me if you see paint on me. Okay, this is not what we're talking about today, believe it or not. Here's pharmacy. Oh, this is pretty. It almost looks like, what's that blue and white china that's raised? Kind of looks like toile fabric. Postal 1 penny. But it is raised. Oh, here's 2 pennies. 2 cents. It's a woman and a man. Almost looks like no, that's linen. Is that Russian? Isn't that linen? Looks like his profile. Anyhow, okay. But I mean, oh, like here. Costa Rica, Eritrea, Argentina, Barbados. Is Eritrea even a country still? It's called something else now. Here's Persia, Portugal, Mozambique, Bavaria, Switzerland, Yugoslavia, Morocco, Netherlands, Brazil. This looks like my sister's writing too. But I remember playing with these when we were kids. Mexico, Bosnia, Ethiopia, Guatemala, China. Oh, wow. Romania, but there aren't any. Mexico. I don't know what this is. Latwiga. Latwija. If anybody knows what that is. Heller. I'm not sure what that is. Documentary. Spain. Jamaica. Jamaica me crazy. Anyhow, this is so much fun going through these. But I got to get a group together. Oh, what is this? Avalon Stamp Company. See, he would buy things like this. But I don't know when he got these. Value 60 cents. Nicaragua, Ecuador. Cuba. Oh, Cuba. I need to keep that one for my dog. If y'all saw my Instagram picture. I don't even know what my Instagram thing is, but it's on here. I think it's 5673. B. Allen 5673, I think. But, yeah, I got to get all this. Salon. could buy them like this. Globetrotter Series, Denmark. And they were already canceled. 10 cents. But again, there's no dates. Anyhow, this is the grandfather that died at the post office, with my grandmother waiting in the parking lot in the car. Martinez and Martinez. This is all in Spanish. Mexico. Articles of Calidad. Mexico, 1945. That's possible. Anyhow, pretty interesting going through these. I also found my mom and dad's national park books that they always got stamped. Liechtenstein, Nicaragua, Helvetia. I know Velveeta, but I don't know Helvetia. Egypt, Netherlands, Belgium. Oh, these little envelopes, though. Germany, etc. Here's another one of these things. Oh, that looks like Mark Twain. A Republic of Honduras. 5 centavos. Jamaica, Ukraine, India, Belgium, Indonesia. SAR, S-A-A-R. I don't even know where that was. Peru, Colombia, New Zealand, Great Britain, Spain, Germany, Austria. Now, this looks like my sister's writing. Central America, Hungary, Iraq. Wow. Anyhow. Oh, my God. Look at this. This is wild. Latvia. Is Latvia still a country? I don't know. Cama. I don't know that one either. I don't know what any of this stuff is. This is Spanish. Nope. Yeah, French. Spanish, French, whatever. But it says Paris. 1926. Ooh. Ooh. Is this a box inside a box? Anyhow. I am going to go through those. Plus I have 2 binders full of stuff. I think at one time these were extras. I don't know. Anyhow, let's just add this to the chaos and confusion in here. Oh, there's a... I either put it at the end or I put it already up there. Here's Ichabod Crane, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I put one of those in my Halloween opening page. And my Hobonichi. We're not working on the Hobonichi today. I have a new project. Y'all are going to think I'm nuts. You probably already know that. Judy, I do have a, see? Care package ready to go to you. Well, almost ready. No more paper, though. You don't want your house to look like my house, do you? Oh, maybe I'll work on this today. I've been painting all over my kitchen. I'll take a picture of it. Okay, let me start all over. This big, huge crane is across the cove, helping tear down the dock that is currently there and falling apart. And it is this massive barge with a little tractor on top, saws, all kinds of stuff. It is wild. But now it's going to go back to its home base and empty its trash, we think, and come back and finish. But the dock's more than halfway gone. Well, off he goes in the trees around the corner. But the dock is, there he is right there. The dock is, just got the walkout part, but all the railings are gone. The floating dock and the ramp down to the floating dock, all that is gone. There's our boat right there. That's how close this is. Oh, but can you hear the cicadas? They're so loud.